picked her up in Oregon. Blonde, hoodie, thumb out on a rainy stretch of Highway 97, just past midnight. She looked soaked and scared. I slowed down. Rookie move. I know, but she couldn't have been older than 20. Said her name was Lena. Didn't talk much, but thanked me. Said she just needed to get to the next town. Nothing weird. Dropped her off by a gas station. Waved goodbye. End of story, right? Nope. 2 nights later, I'm pushing through Idaho. Dead of night again. Same stretch of lonely highway. She's back. Same hoodie. Same jeans. Same damn look on her face. I froze. Thought maybe I was tired, seeing things, but she stepped closer. Thumb out, like before. I rolled down the window. Lena. She blinked, tilted her head. You know me? That should have been it. I should have hit the gas and never looked back. But I didn't. I let her in again. She didn't recognize me. Not even a hint. I asked questions. She answered like we'd never met. And this time, she didn't get out at the gas station. She vanished. I swear to you, I stopped to fill up, went around to check the back tires, and when I opened the passenger door, she was gone. No sound, no sign, just the faint smell of rain. Thought I was losing it. Lack of sleep, cabin fever. Whatever excuse made it easier to drive the next leg of the trip, until it happened again. Utah. This time, I didn't stop. Just drove right past her, heart in my throat. She watched me. Didn't move. Didn't blink. Just stared, like she was waiting for me to stop. I kept seeing her. Wyoming, Colorado, Nebraska. Always on the side of the road. Always alone. Always Lena. Sometimes she'd smile. Once, I swear she mouthed something. Looked like why. The last time was in Kansas, middle of nowhere. Midnight again. Except this time, she was standing in the road, not beside it. I slammed the brakes, skidded to a stop, swerving just in time. But by the time I looked back, nothing. Just empty road. I stayed in a motel that night. Couldn't sleep. TV was on, muted. And then came the knock at the door. 3 soft taps. I didn't move, didn't breathe. Another knock, then silence. When I finally opened the door, room empty, lot empty, but taped to the outside, a photo. Me, sitting in the truck, and Lena, riding shotgun. Except, it wasn't any moment I remembered. She was staring right at the camera, smiling, like she knew something I didn't, like she'd been there the whole time. I burned the photo, changed my route, avoided night drives, but it didn't matter, because tonight, I stopped at a truck stop diner in Oklahoma, sat at the counter, ordered coffee, and the waitress, blonde, wearing a hoodie, name tag read, Lena. She leaned in close and whispered, "Thanks for picking me up." You ever drive the same route for so long, your brain goes on autopilot? That was me. I'd been running the route between Reno and Salt Lake for years. I knew every rest stop, every billboard, every pothole that could rattle your spine out of alignment. But last Tuesday, something was different. I passed mile marker 236 like normal. Green sign, white numbers. Then I blinked and saw another one. 237. That's what threw me. There's no mile marker 237 on that stretch. It jumped straight to 238. Always has. I should know. I once pulled over on that exact spot for a flat tire. There was nothing. Just dirt, sagebrush, and a gnarled old fence post half eaten by rust. But this time, 237 was there. Clean, new. The sign wasn't weathered like the others. It looked freshly bolted into the ground. I chalked it up to fatigue. Told myself I'd imagined it. Maybe I blinked and missed 238 instead. But the next night? Same thing. Past 236. Then 237 showed up again. My headlights caught it, at just the right angle. Crisp. Perfect. like it hadn't been touched by time or dust. That's when the radio cut out. Dead silence. No static, no engine noise, no wind against the cab. Just nothing. Then I heard it. Breathing. Not mine. Not through the speakers. Inside the cab. I snapped my head around, hand already reaching for the tire iron wedged between the seat and door. Nothing. No one. Just me and the road. I didn't stop. Didn't even slow down. Slammed the pedal. White-knuckled it until I hit 240, and the static hissed back in like nothing happened. I tried to let it go. Told myself I'd skipped lunch. Maybe I'd been so tired I'd started hallucinating. Happens to drivers all the time, right? Then night 3 came. And this time, mile marker 237 wasn't on the right side of the road. It was in the middle, dead center of the highway. I swerved hard, missing it by inches. The trailer fish-tailed, cargo rattling like a bucket full of bones. I looked in my mirrors, but the sign wasn't behind me. It wasn't anywhere. And then, I'm not proud of this, I stopped the truck right there on the shoulder. I stepped out, heart pounding, flashlight in hand, and I saw them. Footprints, bare feet, small, maybe child-sized, leading off the pavement and into the scrub brush. I followed them, only for a few feet, just enough to be sure I wasn't imagining things. But the footprints didn't stop. They ended at another mile marker, 237. This one wasn't new. It was old, rusted, tilted, overgrown by weeds. But it was the same number, and scratched into the metal, barely visible under my flashlight, was a single word: stay. I didn't. I ran. I haven't driven that route since. But here's the thing. I checked the maps. There's still no mile marker 237. But drivers, a few of them, have started asking questions, talking about gaps in time, strange noises. And last night, someone sent me a photo, a clean, new sign. Mile marker 238. But the numbers were backward. And if you looked close enough, there were footprints underneath it, leading toward the highway, and they were still wet. I wasn't even supposed to be on that road. I'd taken a wrong turn somewhere outside Barstow. GPS froze, cell signal dead, and ended up on some dusty, sun-bleached stretch of desert highway I'd never seen before. No signs, no cars, just a straight line through the heat waves. That's when I saw it. An 18-wheeler, dead center in the road, just sitting there. No hazards on, no flares, just the low hum of its engine, idling, like it had somewhere to be. I slowed to a crawl, rolled down my window. The heat hit me like a brick, but the thing that stood out most wasn't the temperature, it was the silence. No wind, no birds, just that engine, and no driver. Doors open, cab was empty, seatbelt dangling out like someone left in a hurry. At first I thought maybe he broke down and went for help, but why leave it running? I parked behind it, flipped on my hazards, and walked over. The desert buzzed in my ears, but it felt wrong, too quiet, like the air was holding its breath. The inside of the truck was weird. Everything looked normal at first. Thermos, a half-eaten sandwich, photos on the dash, a little girl, a golden retriever, all sun-faded. But the driver's log, blank, not just for the day, for every day. Pages and pages of nothing, but the same entry over and over. Mile 0. Stop. Mile 0. Stop. Mile 0. That's when I noticed the trailer door. It was unlatched, swinging slightly in the breeze. Now I've seen enough horror movies to know better, but this wasn't a movie. This was real. And curiosity? Yeah, it won. I walked around the back. The door creaked as I opened it. Empty. No cargo. Just cold air. Freezing, actually, like breath in winter cold. In the middle of the damn desert. And then I heard it. From inside the trailer. A knocking. Not loud. Rhythmic. Like someone tapping their fingers against metal. I leaned in. Hello? The knocking stopped. And then, just for a second, I saw it. Something moved across the back wall. Not walked. Not ran. Glided. I slammed the door shut and backed away, heart pounding. That's when I noticed something scratched into the steel just beneath the handle. If you see the truck, don't stop. Too late for that. I jumped back into my car, floored it past the rig, and didn't stop until I hit a main road. Signal returned, GPS rebooted. But here's the part that keeps me up. I checked the dashcam footage later that night. It caught the truck, caught me walking toward it, caught the trailer door swinging open. But there's a moment right after I disappear into the trailer where the camera flickers, and when it comes back, the truck's gone. Just dust in the wind. But I didn't leave with it. So tell me, how the hell am I watching footage of myself if I never came back out? Thanks for listening. Now close your eyes and sleep.